back to the ESL Pro League Finals desk. It is final day, and it is going to be time for our first semi-final so very shortly. I mean, we have to once again thank you guys because you're still hanging around with us, ready to see EnVyUs take a shot at Navi. It's going to be, well, actually, no, let's be honest, it's probably more Navi taking a shot at Envy. Yeah. But either way, it's set to be a pretty interesting game. The battlefield is set. We've kind of looked towards the map pool, and it's a bit of a surprise. And I mean, we touched on that just while we have a couple of extra minutes before we jump on in. I'm just going to ask for some kind of overarching points on this map pool. Inferno overpass Cobble, if you guys were unaware at home. And I mean, the two overpassing Cobble, they were not in your ideal of this map, Jonathan.
No, I actually think Envy made a mistake not getting Cobble, because they're more equal on Inferno.
But not getting cash.
Oh, cash, I mean. Yeah, not Cobble. Cash. So they're more equal on Inferno than they would be on cash.
Because Navi, they're kind of known to be quite effective on Inferno over cash, especially because we saw their performance against Virtus Pro on cash yesterday. So it's not like it's going to be an easy uphill struggle for either side. But now with Inferno on your screen, it is going to be map 1. Helval, why don't you walk us through how we're going to be seeing NV approach this? You've kind of already said before, Jonathan, that they're an individually based team. How does that kind of work on Inferno, which is such a strategic based?
So well, you can still have strategies even though you're base your play on individual skill and individual performances. But the thing is, it's going to be really hard to read what Envy do on their T side. That's going to be the issue for Na'Vi, and we all know how Na'Vi plays their T side. To me, it's all about how Na'Vi are able to deny information, how well they can do that versus individuals, like as a skilled team as Envy are individually, because they can find those openings that Na'Vi normally are able to shut down versus other teams. That's going to be the most interesting point for me to see on Inferno.
And we'll see. I think just Inferno is a map where how well you can actually deny the information of the terrorists taking over Banana. If you can do it with 2 men and actually back off into the site later on, then you have a huge advantage, and maybe even make Navi or Envy like push A fast or something like this. So it's a lot about the banana control, I think, for the CT side.
Something that's Envy has been really good at actually is finding that they're so good at playing with smokes towards that B bomb site. You see Happy constantly, whenever you could see or teams get into a situation where they have to run through smokes and flash through and all that stuff, you could see Happy constantly doing something Snacks does from time to time, which is run into the smokes and then create chaos from behind the enemy lines. So I'm expecting a lot of that actually as well once they get going.
And talking of getting going, it is time now for us to get into game. It's finally time to introduce your casting team for this game. It's D-Man and Anders. It's Demanders.
I was expecting Danders, but Demanders.
I like that.
It's better than the role reversal of D-Man and Semler, which we could have had. Just think about it. I'm not going to say it out loud. Me and Semler actually almost said it out loud. But yes, hello. Finally, I actually get to catch you. I was meant to catch you on day 1, but we overran. Me and Semler had a 5-hour best of 3. So you ended up doing both games with Jason.
Exactly. It made more sense at the time. Yeah. Because otherwise we'd have to wait and screw the whole schedule up. We would this way, definitely.
But yes, we are here on a fantastic match. Navi versus Envy. And as the desk just talked about, the fact that the veto process went kind of weird. I wonder if Happy just hadn't woke up yet, because Yutoka tweeted out a beautiful picture of him fast asleep while the Navi match was being replayed. Clearly, and he actually tweeted out this morning saying he only had 2 hours of sleep, so obviously trying to catch up a little bit on that napping time. But
smart.
I just wonder if we were talking about it, like, did they just give Navi a chance? Did they mean to do this? Were they just sloppy in the veto process? Because why would they not go for cash when clearly Navi in this tournament have been dreadful on cash?
I don't know, maybe we've just been feeling, because you always say now Envy's like the best or the second best team in the world are playing Inferno. Maybe they just listen to us. Okay, we've better prove it.
You think the players listen to us?
I really don't, Lee. No, but it's I don't know, it's crazy. I absolutely agree. I think cash would have been a much more sound choice. Obviously, maybe Envy just aren't really that worried. I think they are still a step above Navi's level right now. So maybe they're just not that worried and thinking, well, Cash or Inferno, it also comes out on the same anyway. But we do actually have the knife round coming up in just a few seconds here. Na'Vi, EnVy, best of 3 game semifinals. This is actually a really, really interesting semifinals.
Yeah, and obviously they played each other at Star Ladder just last week. That went the distance, despite EnVy pretty much dispatching of NIP in ease, with ease. They didn't dispatch of Na'Vi with ease. It was a tough one for them. So while you guys may be looking at this and seeing, well, EnVy are clearly going to take this one, I don't think it's quite so clear-cut as you guys maybe think it could be.
Yeah, and I think the statistic right now is that essentially the last 5 tournaments that Na'Vi have exited, it's been EnVy that have sort of thrown them out.
Yeah,
so.
Katowice. Yeah, it's the quarterfinals at Katowice, same place, same time. And maybe that's just given Na'Vi fuel. We heard Guardian's interview. Maybe if you guys just tuned in, you probably didn't hear it, but it was like probably about half an hour ago now. But had a little sly pop at EnVy, just sort of saying, yeah, we went out partying hard last night. Yeah, actually, no, we're quite serious about this. And it was like a little sly dig.
Well, I'll tell you this. At the hotel lobby yesterday, just a few drinks were had as we were having pizza and stuff like that.
We finished early. Why not?
Exactly. And the Na'Vi players, I think Starish actually came up and said, "You guys are allowed to drink during tournaments because that's something we try and avoid in Na'Vi.
Yeah.
We want to focus on the tournament and all that stuff." And EnVy, they caught on to that very early. Happy thought, okay, well, let's lay it on thick then. And he was really saying like, well, yeah, we just we're gonna go to the club later on. He was really trying to sell them this idea that they would just, they'd go partying and do whatever they feel like. And Starrix was actually getting a little bit annoyed. He felt like, we can't lose this team. We're the professionals here, and these are just the kids having fun. And can't lose to them like this.
I mean, it's and in fairness, especially to Na'Vi, they're obviously guys that have been around. Quite a few of them been around in the scene for a very long time from the 1.6 days. So they've probably gone through that party phase very early on. And suddenly realized, actually, if we want to stick around and be at the top level, we have to take this very seriously.
Well, I mean, I think it's actually Happy just playing a mind game.
Of course it is.
The day before,
completely mind gaming his opponent. Yeah, I mean, why not?
It's good times, isn't it?
Watching Smith play Dota 2 before the game as well. It's probably all mind games because he was right on the end as well. Now we were all sat down doing deathmatch, practicing warming up, and he's just sat there relaxing, sitting back playing Dota 2. It's just like, okay, I see how this is.
I'm not worried at all. Yeah, they're really selling it. Well, I mean, maybe Na'Vi will give them a reason to be worried. To be fair, the way that Edward was playing yesterday, the way that Flamey was playing yesterday,
the way that Guardians played all tournament.
Yeah, and if Guardian can just refine his ultimate AWP form, if Seized can become a little bit more visible, I do think this Na'Vi team could be lethal. I think EnVy've got to be careful. I don't think actually EnVy are underestimating them, but they probably want to make it seem like they are.
Yeah, totally.
But if they at any point they let Na'Vi get a little bit of room to work with, it could be dangerous.
A little bit of wiggle room. So, pistol round underway. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. EnVy starting out on the CT side after winning the knife up against Na'Vi. And of course, EnVy, they had themselves a day off yesterday. They managed to get through to the semi-finals early on. Guardian already taking down Kyo. MBK does manage to cut down Edward down in mid, but it is the bomb making its way through mid, and there's 2 members of Na'Vi actually pushing through into Banana right now, but we're watching MBK keeping them at bay. Smith has managed to stop Zeus over in Banana. Guardian got himself around CT side there. The rotation was coming, but it's been just shut down. Shox is doing all the work for them.
Yeah, very individual play coming up from Na'Vi here. Just one at a time, they seem to be fighting the EnVy members, and EnVy come out on top pretty heavily with Smiths and MBK picking up a double kill each. Not really sure. If Guardian can make it through into construction, if he can actually manage to run through towards CT spawn into construction back there, that makes it really tricky for EnVy. Then all of a sudden, when the rest of the Na'Vi team come in through to B, they have to worry about, protecting themselves from the back and also worry about the main attack. But it still made it seem like Na'Vi essentially just took 5 one-on-one fights with EnVy and came out on bottom.
Yeah, it was a little weird. A weird pistol round there. Definitely didn't seem to stack for him, but when we are seeing those few Tech 9s, and of course the SMGs. And it's interesting, we obviously just heard Devilwalk talking about the SMGs, how it reinforces that pistol round. Let's see if it actually works out for them. Shox being quite aggressive here. Edward's position's given very much away. I wonder if Shox is going to go for the peak here. He's just around it, doesn't need it. Kaio pops around in apartments and takes him down for him. And that will slow things down for Na'Vi. He was the man that was just trying to get themselves some angle, some positional change, and Shox is in a perfect position to cut this attack dead.
Oh, Max, 7 in hand. He's actually letting them by, just counting, and he waited too long. Oh, no. Sees to take him out. Smith's doing a lot of damage. Look at, they're all low. Below 30 health each and every one. Guardian, though, with a good headshot on Smith, and Kiyoshima is going to get team killed by Happy. Guardian gets Happy as well. It's a disaster coming in here from Envy. And he might have to run away here. MBK's not the type to back down from a fight, but
this is possible. Look, the 3 health, 22, 12, 19. This is completely possible if he can land one of the first shots on Guardian just there. There it is. Okay, is that going to give him the confidence to go for this one? He has got the M4, so he invested heavily in the second round. Na'Vi, though, the clock is ticking. He has got a defuse kit. And he's just waiting for somebody to show for him. Zeus might be that man. It is. That's going to be the second down. And Na'Vi, suddenly they are going to back away from this one. It's going to have to be a save for MBK. Not quite able to get in there. Got himself the frags, but well played, Na'Vi. That was, honestly, that was Envy's round. They should have taken that one, but they almost went too aggressive on that one.
Yeah, they took all those fights, and then I think no one was expecting Guardian to pick up 2 kills with the Deagle like that. And the team kill in the middle of it made it really awful. It's Happy at -1.
I mean, in fairness, I think it was Smiths he did it on.
Yeah.
He was on 2 health. So it was like, probably didn't really mean he didn't lay into him too heavily, just clipped him, wing clip. But nonetheless...
Is it mercy killing, is that what you're saying?
I'm not getting drawn into that there, French. I'm not going down this road. We've already heard Vendetta waving the white flag, but let's not get drawn into that debate. Na'Vi, though, have got themselves 3 AKs after that successful round, along with that Mac 10 and Galil. So everybody on the head armor, and it's actually put Envy really on the back foot. You can see, obviously, that Mag 7 for Shocks, but more importantly, 2 CZs and a Deagle for Keo.
Yeah. Oh, Enemy not letting go of the 3rd round, and I don't think they should either. It seems to be pretty high success rate for trying to force up these rounds and just make it work anyway. And obviously, when they save the M4, is right there for the taking, more or less. Good stack going to be coming up at any second. So Navi's slow style, it could be really good, but now they're giving Envy time to adjust to what's happening here, and that's obviously going to be really big. Smith's spotting out a couple of people archway, and Happy might be there to take over. But they're actually running through into CT spawn. They're wrapping around. Really great strat coming out right now for Na'Vi. This should be almost impossible for MBK. He's going to be alone against 4 people any second. They are getting flanked quickly by Shocks. MBK will pick up the 1 kill here. Happy goes down.
Shocks is going to find Guardian. That's the bomb plant down. That's the bomb loose. Actually, in Banana, they managed to cut him off. And
wow.
The wraparound, like you said, was perfect.
I can't believe it. They actually managed, I mean, once they get into that position, Na'Vi, they're a slow team, yes, but they should be able to speed up really quickly because they spotted 1 guy by Arch, they spotted 1 guy in Library. They must realize there's going to be at least 1 person somewhere over by Pit as well. So they can guess there's at most 2 people left in B, and they got 5 people who can crush in on them. I think that was Na'Vi being a little bit too hesitant.
Game of cat and mouse already. Rounds that should be won, given away. Let's see if the trend continues as Na'Vi once again come in with the Tech 9s and head armor. Keo is going to pop out that grenade, gets a little peek on towards Guardian, but doesn't manage to land too much. Guardian got those 2 great Deagle shots earlier. That's given C's the information. There is 1 just around the corner, and that's going to force Keo to back out. Guardian's going to get a peek over at Arch, along with C's. They're going to try and come out in unison. We'll find 1, not going to land the headshot. Keo will get C's down, and this is going to maybe slow this attack right down as Envy hold the defense strong. This will be... I was about to say Envy's round, but Edward is not done yet.
Wow, okay, another team kill coming in. This time,
oh my
Shocks
God.
Killing Happy, so at least there's some sort of cosmic balance going on. Zeus will go down, and Edward's going to be all alone. Edward actually got that kill on Kiyoshima jumping midair. That was pretty impressive, but still, I think you're right, though. It will be Envy's round here. There's really not a lot that Envy could do, that Edward could do at this point. He's trapped and boxed in. He's got only 25 seconds. So if he had a lot of time, maybe Envy would lose patience and come and fight him. But this is going to be tricky. He will find the first kill here on Smiths, but now he's going to be charging into the bomb site. Not aware that this guy in Pit.
He's not looking. Yeah, he's looking the opposite direction. Shocks should pick this one up easily. Yeah, simple kill for him. But that got costly, nonetheless, for Envy. They lost quite a few members to an eco there, and almost got the bomb plant down for Na'Vi. So Na'Vi starting to open up, even with just the pistols. This time they're going to go for, looks like a full eco. Yeah, just a couple of P250s in there and 5.7s, but that is it. No armor, no nothing. And let's see how EnVy deal with it now they've got themselves their assortment of rifles.
Zeus is actually standing still in spawn right now, so I'm wondering if he's talking to his team. He was, standing for a while, so he could just, you can use these rounds as sort of almost timeout rounds without calling an actual timeout. Titan used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
And very games before they became Titan used to do that with Existence, just saying, well, let's just use this round to wait, and I'll talk to you guys, saying what's happening.
Yeah, they're all in apartments, they're all still just having a little relaxing session. Let's see if it works out for them. MBK is ready for them in Banana. Will manage to just cut one down. Zeus should drop for this one. Switches to pistol, backs away. So business as usual for EnVyUs up against the pistols. Happy's in a perfect position to just line them up and will get himself a triple headshot there. So 4-1 for EnVy. Started off. They are on the CT side here. And this is actually one of the discussions we were having off-air yesterday, talking about, obviously, how map biases are swinging and how the strangeness that Cobble is now almost becoming a T-sided map. And we're saying, actually, probably Inferno is probably one of the most CT-sided maps now, if it comes down to it, because balance across most of the maps is actually okay now.
And that's despite, this is despite the fact that we've seen
into it.
Oh yeah, well, that's going to be interesting once we get that rolling. But we've seen some teams in this tournament pick up a huge number of rounds on the T side. But I think you're right. EnVy is one of these teams that really can make this map look horribly CT-sided. They can really lock down the CT side massively. So I think now we really have to come up big in this T half. I think it's going to be really important.
Well, it was not too long ago that there was the debate about who is the best team on Inferno. I think everyone decided in the end it was Fnatic, but you could argue they're the best on quite a few maps. But it was Fnatic was deciding on. But EnVy were definitely up there as contesting for who is the best there. We'll see how it works out for them. They are 4-1 up against Na'Vi right now, who themselves took it to EnVy at Star Ladder just last week on this map. So EnVy at the moment.
If the smoke clears,
yeah, it could be perfect for Shocks.
He's going to walk right out.
Oh, missed the first shot. That's not what you need. And Flamey gets on down. Happy taken out in Arch as well. And Flamey with the double. Smith's back a pit, but they're going to be looking in his direction the moment they peek around that smoke. But it works in Smith's favor. Tries to get the second shot very close to whistling past Seized as well. Guardian moving up. He knows that there's two in pit. And Kaio evens things up. 3-on-2. MBK with an easy kill on the bomb. And that means Flamey's down. Seized with it all to do as he wraps around from Banana.
Yeah, and 10 seconds left. I don't think he can actually be done at that point. Even if he got the kill on MBK, he couldn't get back to the bomb site and put the bomb down. So a little bit tricky. And Na'Vi is the team, I think, out of all the teams in the tournament that will run out of time the most, essentially. It's not that... It's not necessarily that they're making big mistakes, but it's just that when Na'Vi make mistakes, one of the consequences is that they are out of time then. So if they play it perfectly, it won't be an issue, but if they start making too many mistakes, that's going to be it. 7th round coming up. It's another eco coming in from Na'Vi.
They have to try and save as much as they can to get themselves something rolling here. Keo being aggressive, knows full well that there is an eco. Ooh, gets tagged up, lit pretty heavily there, down to 32 health. And BK playing it deep down in Banana as well, so trying to force their hand. They know that apartments or A site is the likely chance because MBK is holding that position. He's the only man there, which is like the full rotates come out. Happy's made his way around on towards the site. Smith's clocking up the shots. Can he land the second? No, he can't. Not as swift as he can be on that rifle, but Happy should get cleanup duty down. Zeus will get picked off, but just 3 members and they know exactly where they are. And Smith is not letting them escape.
That's great seeing Smith swapping on this map. That's really encouraging because I think normally it would have been Shocks or Happy actually doing it if they really needed someone. But obviously Smith's just their really good opera on Dust 2. Why couldn't he apply those skills to a different map? It's not a bad idea. So good double kill at the end for NBK. 6-1 for EnVy. And now Guardian is picking up an AWP. That might actually be a direct counter saying, I feel confident I can out-op Smiths here. Oh, it's not Dust 2.
Yeah, well, you say not Dust 2. Dust 2 is actually going quite well for Na'Vi recently, but we'll see how it goes. 6-1 for EnVy. It's a pretty good start for them. On the CT side, of course, they did win that pistol, lost the second round straight back, but since then haven't really looked back. Once again, MBK going aggressive down Banana, finds himself 1 and a second. Can he get the third? Zeus is going to run straight through the smoke, headlong into him, and he picks himself up the triple. And well, rifles or not, that has stopped that attack dead in its tracks.
I mean, what can Na'Vi do at this point? This is where you're hoping, you're praying that Envy will make a mistake. So, walk around slowly. There's plenty of time. So if Envy lose patience, if they want to go and try and peek, you hope you can win that fight, turn it into a 2v3. But if they don't do that, there is not a lot left that you can really accomplish here. It's so tough. Flashbang in, Kiyoshima going to try and play defensively. He's actually flashed as well. He gets the 1 kill in, and Edward will return Smith to finish it off. And that, they tried their very best. Maybe if they could have really flashed Kiyoshima so he never got any kills, it was a bit of a chance, but it's so rough.
I mean, you got to look at it. Obviously, Guardian, like you said, he picked the AWP up there, and the annoyance that, less than 15 seconds into the round, you've already lost 2 members. Zeus pushes through the smoke, so he's thinking, okay, must be going for the reload now, but just get gunned down, and suddenly, like you've had to go for a double save, I think it was, to get that AWP and set up there, and then just lose everyone within the first 15 seconds.
I mean, we have to mention just for a moment, the absurd fact that MBK is 15-0-0. He actually hasn't died yet, and we're only starting in the 9th round now. So
that's pretty impressive.
It's a little bit ridiculous, isn't it?
Oh, they're setting up for apartments, but this crossfire, look at it. You can see they're all trained on towards it. Shocks on the... I never know what the PC term for that is. I know exactly what the teams call it, but I guess we just call it above pit.
I like that, Leo. Well played. Yeah. I've heard everything is one if you're brave enough. Edward is going to be on his own in a 1v4, and Kiyoshima ends up going down here, so a little bit rough on him. Edward will die at the end as well. Smith's just taking care of business. You're right.
Oh, lost it on that one, sorry. So subtle, Anders, so subtle. Sneaks it in there. Na'Vi 8-1 down, and like he's mentioned, Kyo lining him up nicely from Graveyard. Yes. Again, another rifle round just cut down so simply for Envy. Na'Vi continue to struggle, continue to try and find their way into this one, and this is got to make sure it doesn't get in their heads. They don't have Mirage to fall back on, which they've been outstanding in this tournament on. Overpass is the next map, which again is another one they went so close just last week, 16-14 at Starlight, and this is going to be a struggle because they're going to have to pick up an excellent CT half of their own right now. They can't really afford to give up too many, but you got to think even in the grand scheme of things, if they go pick up a couple more, it's probably still going to be at least 10 rounds for Envy now.
Yeah, that seems overwhelmingly likely. I would want to, you always try and figure out, especially when it's sports like this, you want to try and theory craft a little bit. What can they do? What could they bring out here to really change what's happening? And right now, the one thing that I'm noticing is that the most normal standard B push that you can accomplish, where you smoke off towards CT spawn, you smoke off the coils, and you hope for an entry frag of some sort. Maybe you bring Molotovs, but even if you don't, just executing towards B, try and see if they can do that. The problem is the guy defending B is 15-0.
And he's being so aggressive. It's like you can't even get around to get the smokes. You can't even get positioned to do smokes because he's in your face before that. He's not at Car, he's actually deeper than Car. He's going straight down Banana. So, and then the other top fragger right now on Envy, which is Smith at 12-2, which is also a ridiculous scoreline at this point in time. He's covering Archway. So how much of the map is left? Well, what we saw and what you were talking about just now is then you've got apartments and the exit from balcony. They got 2 people there. There's nothing more. That's Inferno. That's Inferno covered, essentially. Yeah.
There is really not that much they could do right now. Maybe the thing to do then is actually to try and see if you can smoke off pit. You can do the double smoke from second mid where you sort of throw the smokes over the rooftop. They land at the car in the pit. And then you smoke off Archway so Smith doesn't take your players out. And then you just try and rush in towards the A-bomb side. Try and go for quad like that. Because it feels like everywhere else there's someone, or there's either one person who's really hot right now, or there's 2 people and they'll probably be as good as one of them.
Yeah, this is... I hate to say, this was something we talked about yesterday when Na'Vi were putting on a demonstration. We were like, but the problem is, this could happen tomorrow for Envy. Yeah. It's like, you never know with Envy. Sometimes they turn up so hot they just blitz the opposition, and sometimes they just have a shaky time. And you're looking at Katowice, the semi-finals with NIP, they just didn't turn up in that game. And I was talking to Semler, who listened to the POV stream for that one. He's just like, comms was off, everything was off. It just didn't seem right. But talking to MBK before this match alongside Smith, I was like, you might want to go wake up happy. He's asleep upstairs. It's like, that's how he prepares. We'll leave him to it. It seems to be working for them. Shocks gets the opening frag. Edward's gone down. And this rifle push, and you look at Shox actually, his position, where he was, he'd gone himself into dark, so again, they knew that Apartment's possibly was the position, but they're gonna go in, they've got the entry frag, NBK's first death of the game.
Yeah, great stuff there. Zeus just taking control of things and not normally meant to be the entry frag, but doing a fine job at it. So the B execution ended up being the solution for EnVy. They didn't even smoke it off, they just ran through the smoke, so it was actually a silent execute, really hard to deal with. Now 3v4, Bomb just gone down, and oh no, Happy gonna take out Guardian here. It's Flamey and Zeus left, and they have to win this round. Zeus flashed, can't see a thing, Shox to kill him, and Flamey's on the wrong side of the smoke, can't even make his way through. It's like triple kill from Shox. And EnVy, they made that retake look so easy.
Yeah, that was not so good. I mean, Happy's flash entry in towards caught the glimpse of Spool, but yeah, Zeus's entry on towards NBK there, nicely done. Caught a glimpse of him and actually pushed through smoke. So realistically, you should never win that duel.
Yeah.
You should never win it. But well, it's the first death for NBK. Maybe a little wake-up call. Maybe a little confidence for Na'Vi. They finally got themselves a bomb plant in there. Who knows?
It's a real shame, because the way they entered the B-bomb site, without putting flashes and smokes in, they mean that EnVy had very little time to make the rotation. They were quite far away when NBK went down, so that there's a lot of stuff that was really working in favor of Na'Vi that round. They just couldn't do it anyway. Bomb, I saw our lovely spectators, YNK and Casada pointing out here. All the way back there, flash in towards the middle, and this time they are going to go through quad, which is the other thing I was trying to talk about here, but they're still getting shot down. Smiths and Kiyoshima doing such a good job of just holding them back, and NBK is going to kill Seast, and the bomb is still all the way back there. Na'Vi just finding no luck at all.
And Smith's getting Guardian down. Last man for Zeus. Where's he going to go with this one? Has the bomb, but he's got 4 members of EnVy, and this could well be 10-1 for EnVy. A brilliant start to the semi-finals. Finals will be happening later on, of course. Don't forget we have TSM facing off against Titan after this one, but it's a best of 3. Zeus gets himself his first one of the round as Smith goes down. That's the AWP dropped, actually. I wonder if he wants to try and pick up that AWP and save it for them. Hasn't gone towards it. I didn't see whether... did he throw the AWP and pass away? I didn't see what he ran out with. He must have. There's no way he's been that aggressive with an AWP, surely.
Oh, Zeus, did he really catch the leg then? Oh, he saw it now, all right. No, you think you're right. Maybe he just switched it up and put the AWP somewhere else. This is a 1v4 from Zeus turned into a 1v2.
Oh, Happy's going to catch the side of him. Wasn't looking. Timing. Gets him down with the 5-7. So he won't get the plant in. It's 10-1 for Na'Vi. They've got a couple of kills in there, though, so they should be able to buy back up on this one. But
I mean, in the last 2 rounds, they've done the 2 things that I kind of wanted to do, and none of that worked either. So I don't know what's left now, really.
Well, that's why they obviously had the timeout. They were listening to you, Anders, and they were like, okay, that's a good idea. We'll do that.
Yeah.
No. Oh, it didn't work.
Oh, man. And this is the round where they had 1 grenade they just threw up middle, and then they have the 1 smoke left on Zeus here. With 1 smoke, I think a B execute is far more likely. They get the opening on MPK. Zeus is really taking matters into his own hand. Not just is he leading the team, but he's actually trying to make sure that they can...
It's something he did yesterday against Dignitas as well. He was leading the opening frag. In fact, it was on Mirage. He ended up reporting him as good leader. But I think he got 27 frags in that game, and he was the man that was opening up, getting those entry frags, which is, I don't know, maybe an adjustment that Na'Vi have made then that Flamey's in that team.
Well, it could have been. It seems to be working out for him. I mean, that's a couple of times now he's bested NBK over at B. Definitely a good idea. And now we've got the 1 grenade in, and it looks like it will be a B execute. Because you need just more smokes on A, basically. Flamey also take down Smiths. Got to really sell the idea there might be something else. But look at this. This is the problem with Na'Vi's slow movement. That smoke goes down with about 40 seconds left. Takes about 17 seconds for it to disappear entirely. That means there's very little time here, and Happy could do so much damage as they try and come in. And he's got a Molotov as well. Oh dear, this is not going to be good.
Okay, so we're going to have Edwards, the man that's going to flank around the back. And there's going to be 4 members coming through, but like you said, Happy, well, that's everything in his arsenal now thrown out. No more flashes allowed for him, so he's not going to be able to flash out Na'Vi's push. They're absolutely going to check this. Zeus is going to check straight away in towards first box and will get it. That grenade may find someone. Edward coming around the back, and this could be a big second round for Na'Vi. Keo, the last man, has rescued Smiths, or knows that Edward is looking for him, and actually will find him if he peeks around that corner any second. Oh, the timing. As he looks away, Specs Guardian, tries to go for the no-scope, not going to work out. Na'Vi finally get themselves a second round and their first rifle round of the game.
This is why I always say that watching Na'Vi on Inferno is just so much fun. It sounds like when you say, oh, they're a slow T side, well, that means we're going to be waiting around and just get a little bit bored. But this was an incredible round. If Happy gets one kill on the first guy coming in, they can run out of time to plant the bomb. They can lose the round. They could get the whole bomb site, kill him, and be left with one person who was over at library, and still lose the round because they're out of time. But then they just put it together. They bank everything on getting the one kill on Happy, and it works.
EnVy have stacked 3 people over at B site this time. I can't see, is it Smiths? Yeah, Smiths is over there with Yorp, so they're expecting maybe a B push. Now, Zeus has been getting that opening frag on MBK. The last 2 rounds, I think it was, which is probably what they were expecting. Maybe to put some pressure on there. Meanwhile, we can see Keo and Shock's actually being deep on the balcony. So they've actually left the mid completely open right now, which is where Na'Vi are going to find themselves and think, where the hell is everyone?
They know Smiths has been playing that corner all the time, so you can understand why Guardian is concerned about it and really wants to see if they can get in there. They're going to go and check the ninja corner as far as they can. They do have a Molotov if they wanted to check it hard, but instead they're going to try and smoke off, I think, towards Smith. So this is definitely a good idea. They're just gaining more and more map control. And they've got the bomb with them still in the middle here, so they're wrapping around. If they can kill Smiths, then that A bomb side is going to be much weaker. Su's coming around the corner and he ducks into it. Great job, Flamey. Going to be taking down Kiyoshima, leaving Shocks alone in the pit. Here's a 1v5 fight for him right now. He's got the M4 in hand. Oh, he looks away at the wrong time. Edward will execute him. So now it's Happy and MBK, and they might have the money to try and go for this retake if they want. Actually, they don't have that much money either, so they have to run away and save immediately. Yeah,
this is going to have to be a save for EnVy, so Na'Vi do get themselves another round on the board. Can they pull this back to 10-5? That would be a workable CT side score. Wouldn't be the best of scores, but it's definitely doable. If they were to let EnVy start picking up a couple more rounds, they're in definitely trouble. But Na'Vi finally starting to get a flow here, and they're going to try and track down these guns. We can see it's Happy that's got the AWP as well. Now they know where he is. He manages to tag one, but they're coming 3 angles towards him. Zeus not going to be able to get him down the first time. They're going to pin him. They know he's in the corner. I don't think they're going to get him, though.
That's where you just wish more than anything he had a couple of grenades or a Molotov or anything left, but how could you possibly? So, AWP saved, M4 saved on the EnVy side, 10-3. And I think you're right. If this turns into 10-5, then Na'Vi are going to be pretty excited about that.
Yeah, considering it was a 10-1, they've definitely managed to get themselves a little glimmer of hope right now. Guardian with the AWP. He's going to be the man that checks out and sees whether you can see MBK. MBK has been holding that angle. Shock's going aggressive in apartments, but nobody really showing for him. This is Shock's on the AWP as well. We should note that. Flamey's going to walk straight to the crosshairs. That's going to be the first kill for EnVy. That's going to slow things down for Guardian once again. It was Seized has been the only man, along with Guardian, that's been peeking at B side. I think that may well be where they want to go, but Zeus is bringing the bomb up towards mid.
And it slows you down so much from when you're already a slow team. Now you have to worry about those apartments, and they are checking it out and clearing it out now. So it's working for them in that sense. But being a man down, actually, generally speaking, when you are a man down, B is the more likely side to go for anyway. But they seem to want to try and clear out middle. Ratings, Smiths, is he going to go for it?
They've got 2 on quad and 1 on arch. This is Na'Vi walking straight into the crosshairs of EnVy. Let's see if it works out. EnVy forced to back away. Smith is going to get himself into Cubby, see if he can peek out at the right moment. They have gone this direction a couple of times. Flash goes in, Zeus goes down, gets himself a second and a third. Guardian lined up behind them, and suddenly Edward is the only man standing. 15 seconds to go. He's going to try and save. And well, that's often the problem. You talk about the 20-second barrier, that's where Na'Vi go. And EnVy were very much ready for that one.
Yeah, and it's, it all hinges on those entry frags right there. But the thing is, even if they kill Smiths, then they have 30 seconds to go around the corner. You can see here 23 seconds as he gets those kills in there.
Oh, that shot of Guardian, it's just like, it's the kick.
Brutal. Oh man, the whole EnVy team is playing so well. MBK's cooled off a little bit in his it was the 9th round that was beginning when he had 15-0. Now he's at 16-1-2, so still a pretty good ratio. But Smith's actually overtaken him in terms of kills at least.
Is that just because they stopped going banana?
It could be that they've just, Jesus won a couple of battles with him, or against him, so maybe that's just it. 2 kills that Zeus got on NBK over there.
It's happy that's this time going aggressive. MBK is the one that's covering off at Spores. He's going to be forced to back away. Smiths is taking a peek. Edward just around the corner right now. He's got an AWP in hand, actually. Back turned at the wrong moment. The timing is everything in this game. Shox also with the AWP. Rattling getting Guardian down mid. And again, they find themselves 2 men down in the opening 30 seconds of this round.
Oh, this is so hard to deal with, isn't it? You want Na'Vi to put together those consecutive rounds, but Envy are just so lethal. Kiyoshima to take down Flamey, Seist and Zeus. Yeah, they gotta try at this point. They really gotta try and see if they can get more than 3 rounds.
Anything, that's all they need. But Shox, he's walking up. He can hear the clicking. He knows he's scoping. Zeus knows that he's around the corner, but he's just got to try and get that element of surprise. Oh, the leg shows. And that's all they needed. Smiths and Keo come around from Quad, get themselves another round, 12-3. Well, if it was 10-5, I would say it's possibly doable for Na'Vi, but 12-3 is going to be a very difficult task. This pistol round means everything for Na'Vi. Pistol round doesn't generally mean everything for any team, but at 12-3, you're almost looking at this map being a loss for Na'Vi.
Yeah, I mean, we can't count them out yet, but it is really near the edge at this point in time, because we talked about earlier, and Envy's definitely a team, and we just saw it. They can lock down the CT side, but actually, traditionally, what used to be the strength of Envy on this map was actually the fact that they played the T side incredibly aggressively, and even if teams know it, they can't really deal with it. You know that it's coming, you know they're going to be fast. Actually, kind of the opposite of Na'Vi here, like 2 completely opposite styles, but it's so hard to stop them. Seized in the middle, missing all the shots. Shox and Smiths will open it up, and yeah, the nails in the coffin here, Lee, as they come around Archway as well. Guardian and Edward finally able to take down a player. That's Smiths falling next to Flamey. And it's into a 3v3. Guardian playing at the edge of the smoke. Great play to take down MBK, and that's dropped the bomb as well. And they could just wait, but they keep playing aggressively. Guardian finding another kill. Shox all alone here. A 1v3. What a turnaround from Na'Vi in this pistol round. And Shox ducks into it. Guardian, 3rd headshot of the round. What a play here from the Slovakian player.
From a 3-on-5 to straight up keeping 3 men alive. That was a very impressive retake for Na'Vi. And be not able to get anything from that after a great start pushing up mid. We are seeing an M4 coming out from Guardian, so early aggression from him. We'll see if it pays off. Of course, there's SMGs as well as the FAMAS for Zeus, so they are going to be completely covered off on this one. Tech-9s, meanwhile, being bought up by Envy and the head armor.
Yeah, and again, going quite aggressive out into the middle. They are a really fast team playing T-side Inferno. Zeus gonna win the early battle. So many people over here should be working out all right for them. But look at that, Kiyoshima coming in and helping out. So 2v3, great job on Envy. Just making this expensive for Na'Vi, if nothing else. But it will end as Edward comes in with the MP7 to pick up a couple of more kills.
Seas manages to rescue that M4. They didn't get the FAMAS, though, quite happily with the SMGs. So, well, Na'Vi got themselves the first 2 rounds. That's going to be the comfort rounds they need, but they're going to have to keep that rolling, that momentum. And we can see Envy this time are going to be on the pure eco, just 3 P250s in there and 2 5.7s. Say pure eco, it's a little bit of investment, but not a great deal. 1 single flash in there. Well, it was in the hands of Smiths, and he's already been taken down.
Guardian sees to follow up, and not a lot that Envy can do in a round like this. They really just, they don't have the armor, they don't have the pistols. And Happy hoping for a headshot.
So 12-6. There's the 3 rounds that Na'Vi bought themselves almost with that pistol. We'll see whether it stays consistent now that we see the AKs loading up on Envy. No scopes coming out just yet for either team. Edward sticking with the MP9. We'll see how that works out. We've seen that throughout this tournament, the sticking it on the 4th round, keeping with the SMG. As of yet, it's not been overly successful.
No, I agree. I have a feeling. I mean, I don't have the sort of the stats to back it up, but I have the same feeling that you have, that actually so far it's not really paid off that well. Well, seized Guardian, got 2 kills in return for Smith's 1, so still working out quite well for Na'Vi at the moment. And if they could get some kills with those SMGs, then they start really building that bank excessively, and that's always worth it. Smoke goes off again. EnVy's going to force Na'Vi to use these smokes much earlier than they normally want to, and NBK crouches out from Boiler Room. C's going to get the one, keeps spraying and picks up one more, and that's going to be the end of it. Kiyoshima, did he back into the flames, or was he just standing in? I'm not sure, but either way, it's a round for Na'Vi. They did lose a lot of members, but actually, if you remember, in the first half, EnVy did have some, they struggled a little bit early on. They did lose a lot of members to Na'Vi before they kind of kicked it in overdrive and just took all the rest of it.
Yeah, we'll see if it continues. Guardian gets himself the AWP. P90 coming out for Zeus. We'll see. Where's he going to run with that one? He's going to be covering off Guardian. So Guardian's going to go for the opening shot. Doesn't manage to land it. There's Tech9s coming through. Grenades do the damage on Zeus and Guardian. Chipping them down pretty heavily. But Flamey has stopped the attack. Went aggressive down in Banana by the looks. And stopped that one. So they know the apartments, and Edward is there, ready and waiting, still with the MP7 in hand.
Oh, he gets that shot through the wall right at the edge. So Kiyoshima dropping a little bit low with that Desert Eagle. Kiyoshima is one of those people who will really try and go for it, and actually has, I'd say, pretty good success using the Deagle. It's like a couple of people who are in the scene who are just dedicated Deagle players. Freiburg obviously being one as well, but they pop up every now and again. It's always good fun.
Yeah, it was it Guardian or Edward against Vox? That when he got that 4K in that round, just kept popping around the corner and popping heads.
I know Guardian is definitely another player who will do it. Traditionally, a lot of Danish teams really enjoy playing Deagle. Now, I think it's actually like it's a waste for them to do it, but I think they do it because they're like hardcore Source players. So they know what the Source Deagle was like.
I think it's probably one of the reasons as well. Guardian is going to get flashed out here, fully blind as NBK makes his way up there. So he's going to rotate and back up. Flamey is with him, of course. Just gets a little jumping peek across there. MBK caught a glimpse of the leg of Flamey, so it's going to be holding around the corner. Guardian's actually rotated. He's been sold the dummy here. EnVy have pushed out, and the bomb is making its way up towards A site, but it's going to be one-on-one while the rest of EnVy push out mid.
Still just turning the minute mark here. They've shown some presence, and they've forced Na'Vi back a little bit, so the Na'Vi are a little bit blind to what's happening middle right now. And with that, they feel like maybe B is a good place to go. Flamey and C's are holding over there. And they still have a Molotov. Just went up from Flamey. In fact, C's has got a smoke left. So this is going to be really, really tough for EnVy. The smoke is going to go down, and there it is. So now there's very little time for them to make through. And actually, classic EnVy style, they're not going to wait. They just run through anyway. You're supposed to wait, EnVy. And they just keep going. Flamey's going to fall. MBK with the opening frag. C's in the corner, pick up the one, but now they know where he is. Oh no, and he has to escape out. So now there's definitely going to be a bomb plant, and it's going to be a tough retake coming in here from Na'Vi. Oh, but that shot from Guardian is huge. Follow-up onto Smiths. No bomb plant happening, and Shocks and Happy, well, they're in a 2v2, but that is so big from Guardian.
Yeah, the bomb's still not down, like you said, and there's only 9 seconds left running on the clock here, so EnVy maybe going to do themselves. That bomb plant coming in on Grill. Are they going to stick it? Yes, they managed to get it down. Guardian now going to come around. They're sweeping out the site, but EnVy have actually double stacked themselves at spool here. They're doing back-to-back formation, and it may well just work out. Happy gets one. It's Guardian pushing through. Gets a glimpse of the head of Happy. Gets him down. Just training a one-on-one. He's got to go for the defuse, but look at this. Shocks is playing it perfectly, keeping the time running. Guardian's going looking for him, and he just keeps on backing away. Oh, he had the seconds, he had the time in Shocks now. Drawn out to peak, but I'm not too sure. This is being played beautifully by EnVy. Guardian realizes it. The time is running down. He's going to get the kill, but unfortunately for him, he will go down to the bomb. And EnVy, well, they just played that brilliantly.
That is so frustrating to play those 1v1s, isn't it?
It's like, just show for me, please.
It feels like Shocks is in Guardian's head.
Yeah.
Especially in construction, it feels like he's so far back that it's almost like if Guardian sticks it, there is no way Shocks can get there in time. He won't be fast enough. But Guardian doesn't know that. So
he thinks he's just around the corner.
Yeah.
It's that classic feeling. He's there, he's watching me. But no, Smith gets himself Edward opening things up. Flamey will get the reply down in Banana, but he will back up. And of course that means Guardian is this time around mid, and it's left one man. Flamey all alone on B site, but EnVy at the moment are prodding their way around the apartment to see if they can draw anything out. Zeus is going to get forced back here. He's got seized up close with him though, and they're getting ready. This boiler push is going to get shut down surely. Ooh, should be able to get one. They don't get the second. Zeus there. And that may well give a little opportunity. It is only Keo with 100 hit points. Happy down to just 2. that's going to be, well, surely the round. So 13-9, the score going to come out from this one. Damage was done, but Na'Vi were happy. They're going to keep hold of a lot of rifles there.
And now this game is going to get a little bit tricky for Envy because their money, as being pointed out to us by Kassad and YNK, is very, very bad indeed. And it's been reset. It's not like Na'Vi's economy is exactly great, but this is what our panelists were talking about. This is one of the things that makes Counter-Strike such a unique game is this economic system. And Envy have just sort of played themselves into a very horrible moment. Now Na'Vi are going to go super aggressive here, and that's classic style from them. Virtus Pro do it too sometimes, and it works beautifully here. And that also means if Envy, we're seeing Na'Vi try and do it on their T side, where they sort of play some of these eco rounds slowly to talk about what they want to do. No time to talk. It gets stripped away from them, and now they have to focus on this next round.
And you know what? We were at, I think it was 8-1, and we were talking about how Envy were starting to get themselves a pretty damn impressive run on CT. It's 7-1 now for Na'Vi on the CT side. They're really putting together a pretty impressive streak. And once again, as you say, it's Pistol's game because their economy was in tatters. That molly is going to cut this down dead in its tracks. This is going to be a clean pickup for Na'Vi. And that will be now 13-11. And suddenly this game is just within 2 rounds of being equal. Na'Vi really have put on a very impressive display on the CT side.
Yeah, and Guardian playing extremely well in this game, which some of the games yesterday he was a little bit more invisible. I tried to talk to him about it, and he actually said he had some issues with his mouse. He wasn't feeling quite comfortable with it. I think it was a different model than when he normally uses it, so he was feeling a little bit off balance. Maybe just a day of difference here has made him, or he's got his whole mouse back, I'm not sure, but either way, he's definitely looking more confident right now, which is great news. They haven't even had to resort to Edward or Flamey, who've both been playing reasonably well. Nobody right now in Na'Vi is actually underperforming, but they haven't needed it. And nice. Flamey, complete hard counter to what Happy just did. That is wonderful.
Ready and waiting for that boosted AWP. And cut him down in his tracks. So Flamey doing his research, preparing for that one. Knew exactly what was coming. That deep smoke quickly countered. Shox, though, has got himself into Boiler. They're about to push out to Quad. Zeus is there, tags him up, doesn't get too much down on towards him. Bomb is in play in around here, but Zeus is about to peek around. Oh, there's 2 of them just around the corner, but he's just not to know. Doesn't want to risk it. Guardian's backing away, but Na'Vi are in complete position to cover this attack off dead in its tracks. And that is the bomb now loose. MBK is going to run straight out on balcony and get cut down by Edward. 13-12. Well, it was 11-4 the first half. And as of yet, I think it's 9-1 for Na'Vi on this second CT side. That's very impressive.
Yeah, soon to be doing almost even better than Envy was early on here. This is hard to deal with. And they're also reaching a point now, Na'Vi, where their economy is so good that the only way Envy can take this game away now is to win consecutive rounds. And there's
only 4 rounds left
yeah.
after this one, so it's effectively Na'Vi are in an absolute stellar situation. Well, we'll see if Keo with his Deagle can whip anything off. They're going to try and push through the smoke. That's dangerous play from MB, but we've seen it already today.
Yeah, you're not really supposed to do it, but I think generally speaking, if you want to learn how to play Counter-Strike, don't watch Envy just yet. They do a lot of things you really shouldn't do.
Well, it's going to get re-smoked. Let's see if they push. They did the last time. They're going to do it again. They flash out, front through, Flamey, and I can see Edward in position. And that is why you don't push through a smoke. Right there. That's the exact reason. Tech9s versus Rifles. Flamey gets himself a quad. And Na'Vi tie up the game, 13-13. And now Envy, well, this is their map choice. They're not going to be quite so confident.
I've got to say, for a very young player, Flamey is playing like someone who has just years and years of experience on the top level. He's handling these situations really, really maturely and not exposing himself, playing as safe as you possibly can. And it has so many advantages to doing it that way. Even if he goes down somehow, he buys the maximum amount of time for them to come looking for him, and he plays it as safely. It's like the best of all worlds, essentially. It's really cool to watch.
And we've seen him be left alone on B side, so Na'Vi got complete confidence in him. You know, this new member, he was, confirmed yesterday it was, I think it was, or Friday, that he was going to be now a full-time member of Na'Vi. He's gone through his temporary period on there, so coming in and replacing Starix and seemingly doing a great job for him. Right now they are 13-13, all square with Envy, who a lot of people had down as a simple, clear favourite for this one, but Na'Vi certainly putting him through the paces as Envy stack on B. Oh.
Oh, and that
Commentator's
opening
curse,
on
mate.
Flaming.
Commentator's curse, that's what that is.
We shouldn't have been saying all that. We were so excited. Right, so this is almost the default round for Na'Vi now, because they're so far away. Look at the two remaining members of Na'Vi trying to rotate in. By the time they get him, you can try and time it afterwards on the minimap, how long it takes to run from top mid through banana up to B, because it's quite a while. And actually, Na'Vi don't even wait. They want to retake without having their full force here. Now, you see what the result is. Guardian and Edward, they can easily rebuy if they lose the rifles. That's not even the problem here, but it's rough giving away a round to EnVy like that.
Yeah, rattling them shots through the smoke actually tagged, I think it was Zeus that was pushing through, tagged his own teammate's leg as he tried to push through the smoke. So EnVy get themselves, finally, this is their second round on the T side, so it's not all doom and gloom yet, but EnVy finally get themselves a round, more importantly on the rifles.
So running from top mid in through towards the T ramp and all the way up into the B bomb site, if you time that on the minimap with our new wonderful timing tool here, it's about 15 seconds to run that distance. Really quite cool. I think I did it a little bit further back, so that's probably going to be 11 seconds. But yeah, that's fine. It's still the same concept basically. It's fine.
Okay, he's like, fine. Screw you.
So obviously that's a big problem. If you have to wait 15 or 10 or whatever it is seconds for your teammate to show up before you can initiate the retake, then it has to be a perfect, flawless retake. Otherwise, you're out of time. And what do you think, Lee? Auto sniper?
Well, yeah, we saw it yesterday. It was Zeus, actually, that had it and picked himself up a 4K as they ran up through ramp on Mirage. But Flamey, we've said they're leaving him on his own there. At the moment, they're keeping with him. But auto sniper down banana, you're not generally going to run through that one. Pretty much, as Semler would call it, going through the blender. Very much when there's an auto sniper just gunning down. They're going to try multiple positions here. Shox is going to be the man that tries to go on his own. Flashes himself out and tries to cause the distraction. EnVy not happy to push either direction at the moment. They're trying to probe and prod. Brave play from Shox there to step out and have a look, but Flamey's about to get busy. Let's see if it works for him. There's one. Manages to get it. Oh, his teammate! Oh, well, I guess he went with what he saw. He does manage to get him. He's going to get everyone down here. That's going to be a 4K for him. Technically a 5 because he got a teammate in there as well.
We'll call it an ace. I appreciate that.
I'm not sure his teammate did.
Yeah, well...
Seized getting shot in the butt. Oh, it's Edward. Yeah, well seized, yeah. Boom.
It should be one of those signs up there. It was just like attention, men at work, don't judge. Playmates, don't. But he's doing his thing.
Don't stand in this radius, yeah.
I think I'll see Stonefall. Just don't go near him when he's on fire like that. I can't. Flame is playing exceptionally well. That last round he got taken out first, and he wanted to make up for it, and he did, killing pretty much the whole EnVy team except one. Now push comes into the bomb site. Stellar opening coming out from Shox as he takes down Edward, and Guardian will drop. That's a double, and then Happy with the Tech 9 to take down Zeus, and it's looking very good now. EnVy about to be on map point here, and now they might as well go for the retake because they have the money for it anyway. But this is rough, isn't it? EnVy, right when they're on the edge, they somehow find the strength to come back into it. Kiyoshima and MBK. Well, actually, Kiyoshima killed Shox. How many team kills have we got?
There's been a lot this round.
Four team kills in this match so far?
There's 4 or 5. There's definitely been stacking up because we had about 2 or 3 at the start of the game. But 15-14 map point now for EnVy. Na'Vi can just re-straight by it up there. They've got everything, so no need to worry. Let's see how it works out for them. No auto sniper for Flamey this time around. He'd actually switched it out, I think it was, to just go for that M4. Not the best of weapons to run in and gun with, but Guardian... Not going to see anything down mid, and EnVy slowing this one down. Shox has ran this apartments a couple of times, but hasn't been too successful in finding anyone. That last round, though, was the one where he managed to get the opener. And I think the speed almost caught Na'Vi off guard. They switched things up, went for that fast play on A.
Well, that's the style, isn't it? I mean, EnVy, even if they are slow, they're only slow up until a couple of seconds have passed. Like, once the engagement happens, it's like EnVy just don't stop. Edward to take down Smith, and Na'Vi right now are looking for overtime here on Inferno. First map at the semifinals, be perfect if that's how it's going to play out. Shox is inching and lurking up here in the apartment. He really wants to find a similar opening as the last time.
Edward's not looking. He's looking at quad at the moment. He switches angle. Zeus does get taken down. Now Shox is going to come out. Now he's going to be looking in there. That smoke will draw his attention along with the flash, but it's just a fake. And they're going for the rotate. You can see Keo has the bomb, and it is actually beat. So they've drawn the attention of C's. C's has stopped on Speedway. He's rotating back. He's going straight back to the B. He's pretty sure that this is a play. They're going to push through the smoke. C's is going to get smoked off on CT, but he's going to push on through the backside. He will find Shocks. He's going to spin around, get the planter and grill, and Na'Vi cut them down on the B side. Happy, the last man standing, with it all to do to keep them going into overtime, but it will happen. Map 1, all square, 15-15. Fantastic CT sides from both teams. 11-4 for both sides on CT. Crazy.
It's the Russian mob squad over at the B bomb side. Seized and Flamey just doing a really good job holding down. And I mean, the timing for Seized was pretty much perfect.
And a great read by Na'Vi because, you know, they were being drawn to A and he was sat there, held at Speedway and quickly pulled back. But to push through the smoke, it's always risky. It's always risky.
Wow, overtime. This is where it gets really tricky. I mean, Na'Vi get to start CT side in overtime, and that always feels a little bit better, especially if you can win the first round. But I think we're playing 10,000 starting money instead of 16, if I'm not mistaken. So that will make a really big difference, because if you run out of money, if you lose the first round as a CT, suddenly you could get pressured economically, and you can end up in some really weird spots. But we'll see how they handle it. Happy, he's not talking to his team. He's not going to say, hey, well, he's just going to call it from the beginning of the round, I guess. Not really worried. You could see Seuss on the other hand. He's getting them prepared, saying, this is the plan, this is how we win the overtime. Happy's just thinking, well, they know what to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't need to tell them what to do. They know what to do. But yeah, good call from, let's see how it works out. They're the sort of speeches, the motivational speeches I wish we could understand. We were talking about this off air, actually, talking about having a translator like straight in the background, immediately translating what was said. It'd be so great to hear that sort of stuff.
I wish someone in the community who spoke Russian would sit down and translate all of it, because
those POV translations from Katowice were amazing.
Yeah, I love it. It's so good. I mean, for every language, but just do subtitles for all of them. It'd be so good to know exactly what they're saying. Well, overtime is in effect, and it looks like EnVy have set up in the second mid to go for, wouldn't you know it, another really fast play here.
Well, they're going to go straight out. That grenade will catch them. The flash will do even better. Shox is going to be blind coming around that corner. Kio's going to try and peek out. Doesn't quite get taken down. And EnVy have got themselves a push on towards A site. They don't count for Guardian. He pops out and gets one, but now it is all on Flamey in a 1-on-3 retake. Bomb plant coming in. And BK around the corner. He's going to be pushing into quad, but straight in his angle. Oh, he may have just got a glimpse of his head through the van. Yeah, he did. Doesn't quite catch him off. The smoke will catch him out. Nicely done. Drew his attention, and Happy comes around onto Arch. And that was a quick, clean round from EnVy. That's exactly what they wanted on the T side.
It's really well done. Perfectly called from Happy there. And it's got to be the frustrating part here for any team that plays EnVy is that everybody knows what they're doing. You know that they're going to be playing this as explosively, this aggressively. So you feel like, the way stuff like you put down Molotovs, cut down trees on the tracks, you know, to try and make sure that that train is derailed somehow. But so many teams struggle against it.
Look at how they're reading the situation. Seized once again on Speedway in and around CT. Spawn. Expecting this A push. They kind of knew that EnVy were going here. They left one man alone. He's actually he's rotated back to B, but that's the wrong timing. But Edward gets himself two. That may slow things down. Guardian's going to get that smoke out, prevent them getting onto the side, but MBK doesn't care about that. He just pushes straight on over the top of it, and now Seized. He's going to try and creep on the site. MBK on site. Doesn't get the bomb plant down, but it doesn't matter. He stops himself, gets the frag on Seized, and now Flamey in a 1-on-2. Left alone again. He's going to find MBK. The bomb plant never came in. It's Happy in a 1-on-1, and he's just going to back away and say, you know what? The bomb is free. You got to go for it, buddy.
Oh, Flamey's playing a terrific mind game at the moment. Bomb will go down, but he's going to walk right in against Happy. Does the initial damage, takes the fight, but Happy finds the headshot. And EnVy going to win the round regardless. And oh no, I feel like now it's become true. This is what we were talking about. If you play with 10,000 starting money in overtime and you lose the first 2 rounds on the CT side, well, the result is right here.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is devastating. And if you think about this, how many rounds do they win in normal time playing T side? Either team. They won, what, 3 rounds total on T side? Nearly nothing. Well, if you win 2 out of 3 rounds, that's winning 66% of the T rounds. Put that into normal time, that's like winning 10 rounds on T side. It's crazy. The ratio here for EnVy is incredible. Shox going to be taking down Edward. And Sharks will find up with another kill here. They just don't have the equipment, Navi. This is such a disaster.
Yeah, this is going to be a clean sweep 3-0 for Envy. I feel seized. The last man standing down over in B side. The A plant will come through. And 3 T side rounds in overtime is pretty much perfect for Envy. And that's going to make a very tall task for Navi. They managed to match them with their CT score in regular time with 11-4 either side, 12-3 either side, sorry. But how do they match a 3-0?
You know, it does come down to making some really, really good calls. You saw Happy just coming up with exactly what they needed. So now it's up to Zeus to do the same thing. If he can find the one weakness or just guess at what kind of setup Envy are going to have. We've seen some rounds where Envy've had 3 people in the beginning at B. If that's where Na'Vi hit A really quickly, well then perfect. But right now it's the standard setup going on here. Envy not really trying anything too tricky.
Well, the slow play may play into Envy's favor. They only really need this one round. And that's why Na'Vi have to be so delicate with the entry here. Flash out onto quad. And they're going to rush in towards him, but Kia wasn't flashed up, but he managed to get taken down nonetheless. Shox gets 1, drops down into pit. May get a second here as Edward falls down. Doesn't go for the reload, does get himself the second though. And the damage may well be done. Guardian, the only man standing to keep Na'Vi in this map. He's on 8 health, he's taken down. Envy take Inferno, 19-15.
Wow, so such a close game, and then the Frenchmen, they take 4 rounds in a row in overtime and close it out. And then they stand up yawning and
stretch, yeah, it's like, oh, it was such hard.
That was a good warm-up game, you know. Probably not. That was, I think Envy were not prepared to that it was going to be that close. Really well played on Na'Vi's side, but obviously must be super disappointing because they could have definitely won that game.
Yeah, and Inferno was, let's be fair, was the choice of Envy. We knew it was a risky choice,
yeah,
but they've won it nonetheless. Overpass next, which is still a very close map. Envy actually beat Na'Vi at Starlight at 16-14 just last week. So we'll see how our analysts approach this one in just a few moments. But overall, a great performance, I think, from both teams. But, you know, looking at the start, when you got someone like MBK who was on 15 kills, 0 deaths for probably about the first 6-7 rounds. Yeah. When you have guys like that shine at the start, I noticed at the end he had over 30 kills at the as well. When you got players like that will shine and step up at the moment, it's very hard to play against.
Yeah, especially because when he was on that 15-0-0 scoreline, it was him just defending Banana, or pushing aggressively like we talked about. So there was a whole section of the map that seemed to be denied for the first, whatever it was, 7-8 rounds, where they just couldn't really even think about going B. And it was only much later that they really tried to fight back. And Zeus had 2 rounds where he entried on MBK up there, which were huge rounds. Zeus played really, really instrumental.
It's what gave them the hope.
Yeah.
They only got 3 rounds overall on the T side, but I mean, you could say the same for Envy as well. But great game nonetheless, and a great overtime for Envy. We're going to go to a break, ladies and gentlemen. This is the semi-finals of the ESL Pro League. Na'Vi up against Envy. I was about to say MBK for some reason, but maybe they are. Maybe they are. We'll be back after this break.